Hey guys, Mario97 here, and today I am going to be showing you how to download and set up Pokemon 8BitBros version. So, there are a few things that you will need before starting this tutorial. The first thing you will need is a Pokemon Alpha Sapphire CIA file. You can get this through Luma custom firmware installed on your 3DS and dumping your own copy of the game, or by searching on Google. And you'll also need to be a part of the Pokemon 8-Bit Bros Discord server, which you can find a link in the description of this video, as this is where the download link will be kept. As a added thing as well, to finish things off, last things you'll need before starting depends on how you intend to play the game. If you are planning on playing on a 3DS with custom firmware, you will need Luma custom firmware installed on your 3DS, as well as an SD card on your 3DS of at least 4 gig. However, I highly suggest looking for an 8 gig or 16 gigabyte card at least. Or if you are planning on playing on PC through Citra, you will obviously need Citra installed and ready to go. So, first things first, once you have completed all of those requirements, you will need to go to the 8BitBros Discord server, and you will see a channel called Download Link here. In here, I have included a link to download the game, so you just need to click this, and it will open up in the window here. And once this is opened, all you need to do is click the download button here, or the download button here. And from here it will pop up with this virus scan warning. Click download anyway, and then once this is done, you will see down at the bottom your file starts downloading. So wait for that to download, and then you can continue on with the next step of the tutorial. Okay, now that you have your file downloaded as such here, you want to have a folder specifically for this, and in this folder you'll want to have your downloaded 8BitBros public release pack, as well as your Pokemon Alpha Sapphire CIA file. Now, for this step, you will need WinRAR installed. If you don't have WinRAR installed, just Google it. It's a fairly common program. Most people generally will have it installed. If you don't, though, it's a simple Google download, and it's fairly easy to go through. So what you want to do is you want to open up the 8BitBros public release pack in WinRAR, and when you do, you'll end up with this file here with these 4 folders. For this tutorial, you will need to specifically get the game building tool folder and the game files folder, and you want to drag them and drop them in this folder here so you can extract them. This shouldn't take too long, but the speed also depends on how good your PC is, really. But for the most part, it should only take like a couple of seconds, maybe a minute at most if you've got a slower PC. So as you can see, just going through here. And yeah, obviously it's all based on your PC speeds. And as you can see, we now have these 2 folders here. So now what you want to do is you want to take your Pokemon Alpha Sapphire CIA file. Make sure it's named just alpha.cia, as if you name it anything too elaborate, it can cause some problems with this tutorial. And you will want to copy your file and go into the game building tool, into Pack Hack, and you'll see these 3 here, and you want to paste the Pokemon Alpha Sapphire CIA file in here. Once again, shouldn't take too long. A lot of this tutorial, the speed of it is based on how good your PC is. So obviously if you have a faster and higher power PC, this tutorial will be relatively quick. However, if you have a slower PC, it may take a little bit longer. But yeah, so we're nearly done here, and we'll just wait a few seconds. And now you will have alpha.cia in the folder along with cleantool.exe, hackingtoolkit 3ds.exe, and setupus.exe. Now, if you have never used the hacking toolkit before, basically if you haven't done any ROM hacking on a 3DS game before, you will need to run setupus.exe before you do anything more in this tutorial. It's a fairly easy installer. You just basically keep clicking next and agree to license agreements. It's fairly quick and simple, doesn't take too long. I've already done it on here as I use this tool primarily while making the game and making test builds. And once you have done that and it's finished the tutorial, you will then want to open Hacking Toolkit 3DS. And you should be brought to a page like this. Now, if you don't follow the setupus.exe program beforehand, then this screen will not pop up. And if you open the toolkit and it doesn't come up with this screen, then you will need to run setupus.exe again. So once you've got this open here, you'll see a list of options, and what we want to be typing in here is CE. So as you can see here, CE, and press enter. And now at this point, this is where it's crucial to make sure that your game here is named alpha.cia, as if it's too long, it can cause problems in this program. So what you want to do here is type just alpha. You don't want to put the CIA at the end, just alpha. Press enter. Then it'll ask you if you want to decompress the code.bin file. You want to type in Y and then press enter again. And now the extraction process will begin. This, once again, depends on how fast your computer is. And yeah, I will be back with you guys in a moment when this is done. Alrighty, we are back, and as you can see here, now we have listed extraction done. Press any key to continue. This means that the program has finished extracting your game files, and you literally can close out of the program right now. And as you'll see in the folder, you'll now have a whole bunch of extra files, as well as several folders. You may have 3, you may have 5, depending on what version of the game you have, as well as if you had any updates installed at the time. However, the important ones here are going to be the extracted ROMFS and the extracted EXEFS. So, at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our folder here, and you'll see the game files folder that we had before. What you'll want to do is you will want to right click on this and open in a new window, and in here you will have 2 folders as such: extracted EXEFS and extracted ROMFS. So what we want to do now is go back to the game build tool and packhack in one folder, and on the other window here we're going to have the game files folder. So now what we want to do is we want to select both extracted EXEFS and extracted ROMFS from here. We want to right click and copy. Then we want to go into the packhack folder here and just right click and paste. And you'll see here something along the lines of having to replace file destinations. You want to click replace the files in the destination and just let it do its thing, as it is currently applying the patch to the game. Well, basically patching the game files so that it has Pokemon 8BitBros version rather than regular Alpha Sapphire. So this shouldn't take too long now. Once again, all depends on the speed of your computer and how quickly how good your disk drive is, really. So yeah, it should be done in a few seconds here. And as you can see, we are done now. So once that's done, you can go ahead and close the game files window. And now here, all we want to do is open up the Hacking Toolkit 3DS again. And this time we want to type in CR. So not CE, but CR. And then press enter. Here we want to just type in 8-bit as one word, nothing else. And we just press enter. Now you want to press 0, enter, and 0, enter again. And you just wait for the game to rebuild now. We will be back with you when this is done. Alright, so as you can see, once again, it now says creation done. Press Enter to continue. At this point, you can just close the Hacking Toolkit 3DS again. And now you'll see in the folder a 8bit_edited.cia, which should be approximately 2.1 gig. 2.09 here. It may slightly vary depending on how your computer displays the sizes of files. Now, at this point, this is where the tutorial will diverge depending on whether you are playing on a 3DS with custom firmware or if you are playing on Citra. So, if you are playing on Citra, continue watching right now. However, if you are playing on a 3DS with custom firmware, please skip to the timestamp listed in the description to continue the tutorial from there. So, for playing on Citra, we're nearly done. All we need to do now is open Citra in another window, and it should initially look something like this if you've never used Citra before. Now from here, what we want to do is go to the top, go to File, then click Install CIA, and from here we want to go back to the game building tool in the pack hack, and you'll see 8bit_edited.cia. You want to double click on that, and you'll see a progress bar down the bottom that will start to load. Once again, all depends on how powerful your PC is, but you just want to wait for this to load, and we'll be back in a moment when that's done. Okay, so as you can see, we're nearly finished installing here. For me, it's only been a couple of minutes. It may take a bit longer, a little bit less for you, but you'll see the bar's nearly done, and then once it is finished, you should see your screen change to this. You'll have installed titles and Pokemon 8BitBros version. From here, you just want to double click the game, and then congratulations, you are now playing Pokemon 8BitBros version. To make sure that you've done the tutorial right, simply go to the home screen and just wait for the title screen to load up, and you will see Pokemon 8BitBros edition with Nightmare Darkrai glitched out on the bottom screen. If you have reached this point and you've got it like this, congratulations, you have installed Pokemon 8BitBros version, and you can now play through the game as you please. Thank you for following the tutorial and supporting the game and everything, and we really hope that you enjoy it. And now we'll be moving on to the 3DS tutorial. Alright, so if you're at this point in the tutorial, then this is exclusively for people who plan on playing the game on a custom firmware 3DS. So, for this part of the tutorial, at this point, what you want to do is you want to open your SD card on your 3DS on your computer somehow. You can do this either through the 3DS's inbuilt wireless file transfer system. You can take your SD card out of your 3DS manually and insert it into your computer with a reader. Or the option that I am going for is using a file transfer client to access my 3DS's SD card. From this point here, you'll want to, as I said, connect to your 3DS and have the pack hack folder open here, as well as your 3DS's SD card. At this point, if you have installed custom firmware, chances are you'll have a CIA's folder on your SD card. You want to open that, and from here you want to get Pokemon 8-bit edited version .cia, and you will want to copy this over to your 3DS's CIA's folder and just wait for it to transfer, which once again depends on the depending on how you're doing this transfer, will take a bit more or a bit less time. So we'll be back with you once this transfer is complete. Alright, so we're back, and as you can see here, we now have 8bitedited.cia inside our CIA's folder on the SD card. So now that that is done, feel free to disconnect from your SD card or take it out of your computer and put it back into your 3DS, as that is all that we need to do for here, and I will meet you over on the 3DS. Okay, so we're now over on our 3DS, and at this point here we've got our SD card back in, and before we do anything, first of all we want to go into our system settings, and we want to make sure that we delete any update data or game data for Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, or for me in my case it'll be 8BitBros Edition. So what you want to do is you want to go into Data Management and then 3DS as you've seen here. Then for any game data you want to go into Software and wait for this to load. This part here is mainly if you have a digital copy of Alpha Sapphire installed, you'll want to delete the game from here. If you don't have a digital version, you can skip this, but for me, I've got 8BitBros version here, so I'm just going to delete that, and any of the save data, so we just delete that from here. For you, you'll be looking for Pokemon Alpha Sapphire to do the exact same thing. Once that's done, you go back, then you'll want to go into add-on content, and same thing, you want to look for Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, which as you can see here, coming through here, I've already deleted mine. So for you, if you go through here, you'll want to find, as you can see, there's Pokemon Moon, Pokemon Sun. All of these games here have like different update data. So you want to delete anything from here as well before proceeding. Once that's done, you can hit back, and you can go all the way back to your home screen. So we'll just wait for this to load up again. Alright, so now that you're on your home screen again, what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to open up FBI. So you're just going to open that. If you have any other methods of installing CIAs, that can also work. However, FBI is the easiest to use and the most reliable. So you want to go to SD, then you want to go down to CIAs, then you want to go to 8bitedited.cia, and you should see up the top here, Pokemon 8BitBros version, 8bit hack, and you want to press A, and you want to go to install and delete CIA, and when it's here you press yes, and then from here it will start installing the game onto your SD card. This will take a while, I want to say about 20 minutes roughly. Once again, depends on what model 3DS you have. I have a new 3DS XL, so mine goes a little bit faster than, say, an old 3DS, but overall you're going to be waiting about 20 minutes to half an hour regardless. So I will be back with you when that is done. Okay, so as you can see, now that the install is finished, it has come to this screen here. So at this point, what we want to do is just keep pressing the B button until we're back at this screen here, and then we press the start button, which will take us to the home menu, and if we wait just a moment and see new software has been added, we tap OK, and it'll bring us to 8BitBros Edition. And so at this point, we want to start up the game. Now, this is important, do not click this update button, just click launch software. If you press the update button, then the game will not work. So as long as you press that, it will boot up the game, and you will be brought to this screen here. Just select English, begin game, and then it will go to the home screen. And congratulations, you are now playing Pokemon 8BitBros Edition on your 3DS. So as you can see, the title screen is different, the music's different. You've got Night in the Dark right here, and you can start here. And yeah, so yeah, that's how to install 8BitBros Edition on your console. And yeah, to make sure that everything's good with your save data, you should see how's it going as your first line instead. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful in setting up the game. If you have any questions regarding the process, be sure to leave them in the Discord server that you joined, as I am more likely to see your comments in there and be able to respond. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy 8BitBros Edition. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.